Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mary Elizabeth with Sacred Love Tarot. I hope this reading finds you well. This is your Waterfall Reveal. Waterfall Reveal number 1. We're using the Crow Tarot. Waterfall Reveal number 2. We are using the Light Seers Tarot. And Waterfall Reveal number 3. We are using the Fairy Tarot. I'm just getting over being sick, so my voice may crack every now and then. I promised you this video today, so here we have it. Thank you so very much for your likes and subscribes, your comments, and your sharing. If you are watching this from Facebook, know that I'm not able to post a link under everyone's name. So if you're watching this from Facebook, congratulations. I will also put this on my homepage. So if you want to friend request me and watch it from there, you can do that too. Also on my private page and my public page as well. So please share, subscribe, and comment. I love reading your comments. So without further ado, here we go. So waterfall number 3, we're putting aside. Waterfall number 2, we're putting aside. Waterfall number 1 starts with, I am beautiful and everyone loves me. I am beautiful and everybody loves me. Carry this thought with you today and notice the effect on you and on others. So we're going to start off with the energy oracle, angel of balance, all tied up, 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel, and door to personal happiness and healing. So with this, I kind of feel that some of you have been given an opportunity to move away from something that no longer serves you and into a time of healing and happiness. And this moving away from has the potential of bringing you balance and connecting with higher self, but because it's something out of your comfort zone, there's an uncertainty around it or about it. So Archangel Uriel is calling upon you to connect to source, connect to your higher self, source, spirit, and the angel of balance is all about bringing that balance and flow, because when you're connecting to your higher self and source, the mentality of feeling all tied up doesn't exist, because you're connecting with your higher self, you're connecting with source, and you're connecting with spirit, and they guide you to what it is that you need to know at this time, as opposed to what ego tries to stop you from doing or moving toward, which is personal happiness and healing and balance. You have opportunity beckons. Embrace that opportunity and seek. So this is the, what deck is that? This is the Psychic Tarot of the Heart deck. So I think this goes very well with the energy oracle, that there's this feeling of uncertainty on how to move forward. So there's this opportunity that you have been given to move forward, and you're being guided to embrace that opportunity. It's a seek and you shall find kind of thing, right? If this is what you want to move away from, if this is what no longer resonates with you, if whatever it is, if it's a relationship, a physical relationship, a friendship, a job relationship, family dynamics, whatever it is, if you have been offered this opportunity, and if you've been seeking this opportunity has presented itself to you. And instead of being uncertain about this opportunity and what direction to take this opportunity, you're being asked to embrace it, right? You sought it out. You asked spirit for it. You manifested it. You prayed for it. And this is what you wanted. So that whole seek and you shall find thing, this is pretty much what it's all about. Archangel Uriel is there to kind of hold your hand and make this transition something more balanced when you go into that time of personal happiness and healing. So let's see what the tarot cards say. The Hermit, going within. The Tower, that's always the Tower. It's always going to be there when we go through a time of transition. Finding that love for self from different opportunities in different places. There's also this internal struggle going on where you're feeling that you have to constantly defend yourself. But look, at the end of it, there's this time of appreciation, celebration. So what I kind of get from you, Waterfall number one, is that you've really been trying to manifest this opportunity to move on and away from something. You've called upon your angels, your guides, your higher self, God, if you choose. And you have been given this opportunity to move away from this situation. You sought it. The opportunity is there. Now you're being asked to embrace it, to go within, to allow Spirit to guide you, to allow Spirit to guide you to that place to where you're able to start off the the start off the healing process, to start the healing process, and that potential of starting a new life and being happy with oneself. And the Tower comes in when the tied up card does. The Tower comes in when we resist, right? If we come from a place of love as opposed to a place of um, combativeness with oneself and with others, and we're not coming from a place where we constantly are defending ourselves, then we have that self-appreciation. Like, I was strong enough and able to go through this change, regardless of how chaotic it was. I asked for and I received, and now I am embracing this opportunity, and I am finding love for self and for others in many different ways, different than how I found love for myself before. I am no longer feeling that I have to be combative or defend myself in the decisions that I make. And I'm pretty proud of that. Pretty proud of myself for that. So, waterfall number one, you have this wonderful opportunity that is being presented to you. Allow your angels and guides to help. This is something that you have really sought after for a long time, it seems like. And you have now been given this opportunity. And we have the Hermit in the Tower. So you may be going through some bumps and bruises along the way, but I think you'll find different ways of presenting yourself, or different ways of healing, and different ways of bringing balance into your life, as opposed to how you used to do it before, which was being very combative and very argumentative. And it's kind of like when people would tell you, hey, if you did this, this, and this, or when people would tell you the mistakes that you've made, it was this very combative and very feeling like you always had to argue your point of view, or argue why you're in the position that you are and why you haven't changed in that position, what others may think it should be now. And for you, it's been this very slow pace, trying to do things um, from your own perspective and your own point of view, right? And that's something you should be appreciating yourself over, because a lot of people who find themselves constantly being combative and defending themselves usually just give up on this road to change, or this road to balance, or finding themselves spiritually, or finding that happiness and healing. And when it does come into fruition, it's kind of like there's this part of our human self that kind of pushes it away, or becomes even very combative with ourselves. And our ego and us start going over, should we or shouldn't we, should we or shouldn't we, move forward into this time of, releasing and letting go. And as they all tied up, it's very uncertain. So you are coming out of this in your own time, and from a perspective that is different than how others would want you to come out of this, if that makes sense. So congratulations and good for you. And the Six of Wands is that congratulation card, that appreciation card. You should be very appreciative of self, and not being that combative um, in this change, right? Accepting things as they are, seeing things from a different perspective, and a different point of view, and allowing that feeling of combativeness and always defending yourself to kind of move out of the way. Allow the tower to kind of set this new solid foundation for you to build a life how you see it from the many different perspectives and different ways, and come out of it on the other side triumphant, and um, seeing things from a different perspective, and seeing yourself not only from a different perspective, but from a higher perspective, and from a spiritual point of view, if that makes sense, which allows you to bring in the personal happiness and healing. And once we have that personal happiness and healing, and we go through that, then the things that we can accomplish in our lives are absolutely amazing. And know that you are beautiful and that you are loved. Carry that thought with you through the day, and notice the effect that you and that thought have on others. So, pile number 1, thank you so very much for allowing me to do this reading for you today. Let's clean up here a little bit. I hope you all have a great and wonderful rest of the week. Stay safe and take care. Bye. All right, pile number 2. What do we have for you? I am open to receive love. Life is always trying to love you, but you need to be open to see it. Complete the sentence. I can make it easier for life to love me by, and fill in the blank. Could you make it easier for life to love you by expressing your opinion, expressing yourself, going with the flow, or reaching out to others and allowing others to help? Accepting the abundance and opportunities around you, loving oneself, removing people from your life who are deceitful, are angry, are bitter, finding balance, releasing hostilities, or being patient. Let's move this here. So number 2, kind of what I see for you is that there is this this need and desire to really speak your truth and say what you have to say, and allow that to flow, and not be intimidated by the voice of other people trying to turn off your voice, or cut your voice, or make you feel unheard, make you feel as if you don't have the power within you or your voice to make a difference. And I think these are the people that are the deceptive ones. You know, when we step into a power like that, there are people who want nothing but the worst for us, and they'll be deceitful and they'll be hostile, because we are now in the flow of our own power, be it our physical, spiritual, emotional, be it our voice, be it how we interact with others. And so I think that because you're stepping into a time of now being heard, that other people will reach out to you, and other people may want to be on the same level as you are, right? When I mean be on the same level, I mean step up themselves, right? So you're coming into a time of now expressing what you want, need, and desire. You're going with that flow, and there's other people who see the courage that it takes to do that beyond the deceit and the hostilities of others. So they come to you and wanting to understand the power that you've had within yourself to find your voice, and to go with that flow, and to ignore those people who are hostile and deceitful. And that brings you into kind of a balance, right? And a love for self. And this, of course, doesn't happen overnight because there's a lot of patience that comes with finding your true self and finding your voice and helping others do the same. So this could be a counseling position, this adjacent possibilities. It could be a counseling position that you are being given, moving from one job to another, being a counselor or a reader, just kind of really going with that flow, finding who you are, removing yourself away from the hostilities of what may be at this current moment into a time of love and patience and balance and kind of going with the flow and reaching out to others and allowing others to reach out to you for, what's the word I'm looking for counseling, for confirmation of their own movement forward, or how they go, or how they can go from being a victim of their own circumstance to being vocal and going with the flow and bringing balance and patience and love into their lives. So if you've been offered a position to where you're able to help others in regards to helping them find their strength or their truth, I believe that can benefit you very well. We have the wheel and the world. Get that. So the wheel and the world. So completing a cycle and going into another one. Yeah, and bringing balance. So we have balance and patience and angel of love and balance through the yin and yang as well. And understanding that, you know, with the good comes the bad, with the bad comes the good. Things come in, things come out. We need to take note of all of it and not just, you know, praise the good and then ignore everything else, right? We have to pay homage to it all and understand that we are stronger than we give ourselves credit for, and our dreams are bigger than we give them credit for, and there is a lot more to us and to our intuition than I didn't even realize that every single card is a major arcana card. Wow. The moon, the magician, the hierophant, the world, the wheel. So you're definitely going somewhere, right? Realizing and understanding that one chapter is closing and another chapter is opening, and that with this new chapter, you have the power within yourself, regardless of the hostilities and the deceit around you. You have the power within yourself to really make a difference, not only in your life, and the life of others as well. Following your intuition and really understanding how powerful you truly are. Learning that power, I feel kind of learning who you truly are, opening up and expressing and going with the flow, and understanding the patience and the balance and the love that comes with the change that you're going through at the moment. Not allowing the deceit and the hostilities from others to take over, knowing that you're more than that, bigger than that, stronger than that, powerful than that. Yeah, you're stepping into a time of really knowing yourself and knowing who you are. Just allowing your voice to be heard and going with that flow and reaching out to others who may need help. A community counselor, maybe, a reader, a medium, someone who has a connection beyond this human existence, a connection beyond the veil. And if you're starting that now, there may be some patience that you're lacking. We all know that when we start that journey of the soul, we start finding ourselves spiritually, we want it to be done overnight, but we have a tendency to kind of just want to rush it And there's no way you can rush this. So it's going to take a lot of patience and a lot of balance and a lot of love of and appreciation of self here. You're just so, I mean, the magician and the hierophant is just so strong and able to really create what it is that you want, need, and desire on such a spiritual level. And then seeing you for who you truly are and closing one chapter and opening another one and doing it all by speaking your truth and going with the flow. And it's like what happened yesterday doesn't matter, right? It's all in the moment. It's all being right here, right now, in the moment, without fretting about what happened last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago or last month or last week or 2 minutes ago. This is all about being in the now and the possibilities that come to you with using your voice and going with the flow and reaching out and helping others and coming from a place of patience and love and balance, and staying in this moment and the now, and the possibilities that will come to you are endless, endless. You've walked away from the chaos and the craziness and the hostilities of others. When you're going through this type of transformation, this is pretty much non-existent in life, right? You don't give into it. You don't go down that rabbit hole. You kind of just walk away from it and release that residual energy that comes from that, transmute it into love and patience and balance, and then, you know, the world is your oyster kind of thing. Yeah. And when you come from a high spiritual place as this, there may be some who are going to be very attracted to your light, very attracted to who you are as a spiritual being. Don't fall into the entrapments of lust, right? Someone coming in and professing their love for you, but not really, only because the light that you give off is so intense, right? The beacon that you shine is so intense that who couldn't help be attracted by it? So there may be some who are attracted to you into the light that you shine, because of the power that you're stepping into with your voice and your intuition and your connection to higher source and self. So don't be swooped off your feet, or don't be mesmerized by the words and the gifts and the poems and the this and the that and the third. You know what I'm saying? So deck number 2, or waterfall number 2, this is your reading. Thank you so very much for allowing me to do this for you today. And until next time, I hope that you find I hope that you're safe and sound and happy and very well. Thank you. Okay, deck number 3. I choose happiness. Memo to self. Remember to enjoy the miracles of existence today. So we have giving and receiving, balance, and darkest fears. Oh, okay. So kind of with this, I feel the darkest fear is losing, right? So we are being asked to bring balance by giving and receiving, but sometimes we have this fear of losing, of giving too much and not having enough for ourselves, which it seems that I feel that you're that kind of person, right? Give someone the shirt off your back and then it gets cold outside and you have no shirt because you've given it to someone else. So there's this constant like give kind of feeling with you. And I think that darkest fear is not having enough for self, because there's always giving. So there's this balance that has to be had when it comes to what you give and how much you give. All right, so opening that heart and opening that power center. Caring connection, thinking man, contracts. Why does this give me marriage feels? Why does this give me relationship feels. So there is this feeling of lack of, right? That's the darkest fear. Giving too much, not having enough for self. And that may be in regards to a relationship, right? So you are the kind of person that even in, physical relationships or friendships or family dynamics, that there's always this giving, constantly, always giving, and never, it's like, even if it was down to your last little whatever, you would give, and then you would have nothing for yourself. And that biggest fear is having nothing for self, or not having enough for anybody else. And I think what you need to understand and realize that there comes that even though giving and helping others is honorable, that sometimes we have to take a step back and ask how much is too much. And if there is a fear of not having enough, or constantly being in a place of destitute, or being broke, or, then you may have to step away from the desire to constantly give and bring a little bit of balance into your relationships, friendships, partnerships. The contract is balancing scales, right? Having faith, having blind faith in justice. The thinking man is someone who is book smart and street smart, but then we have this caring companion connection here. So I'm wondering if you're going through some sort of separation or a divorce, and you're afraid to kind of lose it all. And this caring connection is someone who's coming forward, someone separate who is coming forward, who kind of helps you kind of step back into your own power and opens up your heart and says, it's everything that you have done has been from a place of love and a place of respect and a place of admiration. And it's pretty much, stay where you are. Continue to have faith in yourself, in the power, and opening up your heart. Have faith in who you are as a giver. Have faith in the miracles that exist around you. Let's see what the tarot cards say. Prince of Autumn. Be cautious when taking action. The Knight of Winter is that card of always feeling as if things will never change. We have a lot of winter cards here, yeah. Walking away from dishonest associations. Okay, when I said something like a divorce or a separation. The Seven of Winter is not seeing things clearly. So we have being very cautious, but taking wise action. Not letting fear getting in the way of that action. Walking away from dishonest associates or people who don't have your best interest at heart. And it's like you're putting yourself in a position of the victim here. Poor me. Nothing's ever going to change. Nothing's ever going to go my way. Nothing is ever going to be real or true. No relationship that I ever get in will be real. No relationship I ever get in will be true. It's like this. There's this constant. When I said this, the blind faith, and having that blind faith in yourself, or trusting in yourself and trusting in spirit, you don't seem to have that. There's this constant feeling of fear, and focusing on the worst, and focusing on things not coming, things not working out in your favor, focusing on things not, I think the darkest fear that you have is being alone. The darkest fear that you have is things always being the same, and the same is not having anyone, being alone, not being loved, not being able to step into your own power, not being able to open your heart to anyone again because of perhaps the deception from the relationship that you are currently going through. So there's a lot of fear around you. Fear of losing it all, fear of not having love, fear of not stepping into your own power, fear of losing, fear of everything. But then we have the Chariot. And the Chariot is just all about moving beyond all of that fear, because you know that things never stay the same. You're smarter than that. You know that miracles happen all the time, and that things are always constantly changing, and we're constantly always evolving. And the relationships that we come into in our lives are for us to learn. And some relationships are a little bit longer than others, right? We learn from some are relationships that we learn from a minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a day, a year, a month, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Some relationships we're constantly learning from. Some relationships are only a part of who we are to learn how strong we are and to adjust us to changes that need to be made and show us what we're capable of, or show us what we need to change about ourselves, or what we need to walk away from, or what we need to move away from, and how we need to prepare for the problems, or how we need to choose happiness, personal happiness over everything else, how we need to pay attention to detail, how we need to be kind to others, how we need to be kind to ourselves, how we need to stop running away from the truth of the reality of our personal situation. And I think that darkest fear is you not being able to do any of that. You not being able to move forward, you not being able to face the truth, you not being able to be kind to others because of what others may have done to you. And so you focus on the worst case scenario. You focus on the fear, and instead of bringing in the balance, with this comes this. There's this constant darkest fear mentality, waiting for that to come true. It's like waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for if you're constantly in a mindset of this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, things will never be, this will never be, that will never be, then if that's what you're constantly thinking, that's what you're constantly manifesting, and you're feeling it hard. You're feeling it. You're afraid that you may never find love again. You're afraid that you may never step into your own power again. You're afraid that the connections that you do make are false, or will sooner or later deceive you. There's this fear of losing. There's this fear of having faith, blind faith. And the Chariot is all about, look, life has its ups and downs, and how you come out of it depends on how you go through it. And it's time for you to start moving into a time of success and being in the spotlight and change and self-discipline and truth and celebrating your accomplishments, as opposed to sitting in a mindset of victimhood and keeping yourself contained in a headspace of poor me, and not stepping into your own power, not stepping into your own heart space, not bringing in balance into your life. Sometimes we just got to kick ourselves in the ass and go, get out of that headspace and start moving forward and to a time of stepping into your own power, because no one is able to do this for you but you. No one is able to make this change for you but you. And if you're not making the change, if you're not making the concise effort to make this change, then you're going to be constantly in a mindset of unfounded fear. And there is no room in that unfounded fear to walk towards standing and stepping into your own power. It's just not there. So you have to make the decision yourself. Be wise with the actions that you take. Be wise with the decisions that you take. Don't, okay, this is going to sound, and I hope no one takes offense, but don't be such a yes ma'am, right? Don't be such a yes ma'am. I mean, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, I don't have that. It's okay to bring balance with that. Sometimes you're not able to constantly give and give and give, especially if those people who are taking aren't giving back, right? And sooner or later, we become, if we're not getting anything back, we become, we put ourselves in a headspace, in a place of just feeling a victim and destitute, and things will never change. And it's very hard then to see that we need to walk away from dishonest people, the people who are taking advantage of the situation that you have put yourself in and the power that you have given them. Remember to enjoy the miracles of your existence today. Choose happiness. Step into your own power and choose love for self. And it's okay to do that. There's nothing wrong with choosing love for self. Thank you, Waterfall number 3. I hope you have a great and wonderful day.